What's up everybody, it's Dano. In this video I'm going to be talking about the different software that you can use to record and different hardware that you can use to record. So I basically got a question which was asking what kind of hardware and what kind of software should you use when you're rapping. And we'll start with the hardware. What kind of computer do you need? So they asked if you need a Mac or a PC. Really, it doesn't matter. The part that's most important, and bear with me on this because I'm not a computer expert, but the most important part, from my understanding, is you need enough RAM and a good enough processor to be able to make music. Music isn't the most intensive thing you can do on a computer. A lot of games and a lot of video editing are harder on your computer, but you're going to need a pretty powerful computer to run the software that makes music and to be able to handle all the processing power that's needed to craft up some different tracks. So just to clarify, it doesn't matter if you got a Mac or a PC. It might kind of change the software that you use a little bit, but as far as hardware goes, it doesn't really matter. You just need to make sure the processor and the RAM are up to par. Now let's talk about programs a little bit, and you have to bear with me because mixing and recording and all this stuff is not where my strengths are. I spend most of my time kind of focused on the craft and actually rapping, and a lot of this other stuff I started learning a little bit of, but nowadays I outsource to other people. So bear with me, but I will give you a couple ideas for different programs that you can use. The first thing that I'm going to bring up is Audacity, which if you're just recording music, this works. If you're trying to make beats, this isn't going to help you at all. But Audacity is free and it gives you a lot of really simple tools for kind of tuning up music. So if you're just starting out, that's going to be a good resource to use. If you've got a Mac, what you've got access to is GarageBand. And I haven't used GarageBand a whole lot, but it's what's on a Mac and it has a little bit more functionality as far as creating beats. I don't know how good it is. I'm going to guess that it's pretty limited. I've never messed around with that, but you can also, record music on there and do a little bit of editing. So if you're a beginner, one of those two pieces of software is probably going to be good for you, and they're both free. Another thing that I've used is Cool Edit Pro, which is now Adobe Audition. I didn't get into it super deeply, but when I was starting to learn how to mix a little bit because I thought that it was something I wanted to do, that's the program that I used. It's a lot more robust. It has a lot more tools than those other two programs. So as you start learning the different functions and the different ways that you can tweak your voice and recordings and mix stuff together, that's going to give you a lot more power and flexibility. So that might be worth checking out. Audition won't allow you to make beats though. It doesn't have that functionality built in. The next thing that we can talk about is FL Studio, which when I thought I wanted to make beats, I messed around with a little bit. That I think is a platform that's mainly for creating beats, although I believe you can record music in it as well. I'm not sure. Again, like I said, this isn't my area of expertise, but I do know that it is one of the more powerful pieces of software for being able to create beats. So if you're a little bit more serious about making beats, you can give that a try. The other piece of software I'm familiar with is Pro Tools, and I haven't actually used Pro Tools, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. I think this is kind of the souped up recording software that has a lot of different functionality and things that you can do. So if you're looking to get more serious about recording, you might want to pick that up. I don't think it has the functionality to create beats, but it might. Now, all this being said, what you're really going to want to do is your research. If you're just starting out, start digging into different programs and figure out what programs work for beginners. If you're starting to reach into some of the higher levels, you're going to want to talk to producers who create, mix, and master music so that they can give you recommendations on what's going to work best, because this isn't something that I'm super well versed in. However, I wanted to give you a few starting points and share what little I do know about it. That's going to be my main recommendation. Make sure you talk to people, do your own research, get this stuff figured out. Hopefully I've given you a couple ideas at least to start with or think about, but that's all I've got for this video. So as always, if you have any questions, comments, topics you want me to cover, feel free to throw them down in the box below, and I will see you next time. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the videos, and if you have any questions, comments, or topics you want me to cover, leave them down in the box below and I'll get to them as soon as possible. See you next time.